For centuries, the Book of Enoch existed largely as a whisper in the annals of theological and scholarly discourse, a text frequently referenced by early church fathers and other ancient writers, yet conspicuously absent from the canonical scriptures accepted by most Jewish and Christian traditions. Its contents were hinted at, its influence acknowledged, but its full scope remained largely a mystery, save for fragmentary citations and brief mentions in other works. It was a lost voice from an ancient past, a testament to religious perspectives that diverged from what would become mainstream orthodoxy. The widespread rediscovery of the Book of Enoch can largely be attributed to the tireless efforts of James Bruce, a Scottish traveller and adventurer. In the late 18th century, between 1769 and 1773, Bruce embarked on an ambitious journey through Abyssinia, modern-day Ethiopia. His quest was not merely for geographical exploration, but also for ancient manuscripts, driven by a keen intellectual curiosity. It was within the secluded monasteries of Ethiopia, custodians of a rich and ancient Christian heritage, that Bruce finally encountered complete copies of the Book of Enoch. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church had, crucially, preserved the book as part of its biblical canon, a unique distinction among Christian denominations. Bruce returned to Europe in 1773, bringing with him 3 copies of the Ge'ez, Ethiopic text of Enoch, thereby reintroducing the text to Western scholarship after its long disappearance. Bruce's discovery ignited a new wave of academic interest and debate. The first English translation by Richard Lawrence appeared in 1821, followed by a more comprehensive and influential translation by R.H. Charles in 1896. These translations allowed a broader scholarly audience to engage with the full scope of Enoch's narratives, from the fall of the Watchers to elaborate visions of the cosmos and the Last Judgment. The implications were profound. Here was a substantial body of ancient Jewish literature that provided unparalleled insights into the religious beliefs, apocalyptic expectations, and mythological narratives circulating in the centuries immediately preceding the rise of Christianity. This re-emergence of the Book of Enoch in the Western world echoed other significant archaeological and textual discoveries that brought forgotten ancient worlds back into focus. Just as the decipherment of Egyptian hieroglyphs by Jean-François Champollion in the 1820s, enabled by the Rosetta Stone, unlocked the vast civilization of ancient Egypt, or the later excavations in Mesopotamia that unearthed Sumerian and Akkadian cuneiform tablets revealing epics like Gilgamesh and creation myths like the Enuma Elish, the rediscovery of Enoch opened up a previously inaccessible stratum of ancient Jewish thought. These were not merely academic curiosities, they were windows into the diverse intellectual and spiritual landscapes of antiquity, challenging existing paradigms and enriching our understanding of the historical development of religious traditions. The Book of Enoch, in particular, offered a crucial missing piece in the puzzle of intertestamental Judaism and the formative period of early Christianity, revealing theological concepts and narratives that were demonstrably influential, even if eventually deemed non-canonical by most. The Book of Enoch is not a single monolithic text, but rather a compilation of distinct yet interconnected sections, each offering unique insights into ancient Jewish cosmology, angelology, eschatology, and ethics. These various books within the larger compilation are believed to have been composed at different times and then brought together, forming the comprehensive work we know today. The richness of its narratives provides a window into the diverse theological currents flowing through Second Temple Judaism, revealing concerns and beliefs that both align with and diverge from the biblical canon. One of the most prominent sections, often considered the oldest and most influential, is the Book of the Watchers, chapters 1 through 36. This section elaborates on the narrative of the fall of the angels, known as the Watchers or Grigori, as briefly mentioned in Genesis 6, 1 through 4. Here we encounter the story of 200 angels descending to Mount Hermon, led by figures like Semihazah and Azazel, who swear an oath to take human wives. Their transgression goes beyond mere intermarriage. They teach humanity forbidden secrets, including metallurgy, cosmetics, incantations, and root cutting, leading to widespread corruption, violence, and the birth of the monstrous Nephilim, giants who devour all human sustenance and turn upon humanity itself. This narrative serves as the primary theological explanation for the Great Flood, portraying it not merely as a cleansing of human wickedness, but as a divine response to angelic transgression and the resulting pollution of the earth. The Watchers' rebellion and their subsequent imprisonment in the abyss prefigure later concepts of demonic forces and the origins of evil, themes that resonate deeply in both Christian and Islamic traditions, where fallen angels or jinn play significant roles in tempting humanity. Following the Watchers' narrative, the Book of Parables, also known as the Similitudes of Enoch, chapters 37 to 71, introduces highly developed messianic concepts. This section stands out for its portrayal of a pre-existent divine messianic figure referred to as the Son of Man, the Elect One, and the Righteous One. This figure is depicted as seated on a throne of glory, judging the wicked and vindicating the righteous at the end of time. The Son of Man is a cosmic judge and redeemer, hidden with God before creation, and revealed only in the eschatological age. This concept of a transcendent, pre-existent Messiah is remarkably sophisticated and has led many scholars to highlight its parallels with New Testament descriptions of Jesus, particularly in the Gospel's use of the Son of Man title. While the parable's exact date is debated, many scholars consider it one of the latest additions to Enoch, potentially even reflecting early Christian influence or a parallel development of messianic thought within Judaism. The astronomical book, chapters 72 to 82, also known as the Book of the Luminaries, provides a detailed and complex description of the movements of the sun, moon, and stars, and their role in regulating the calendar and the seasons. Enoch is presented as a celestial observer, guided by the angel Uriel, who reveals to him the intricate workings of the cosmos. This section reflects an ancient fascination with cosmic order and the belief that understanding celestial phenomena was crucial for maintaining proper religious observance and discerning divine timing. Its emphasis on a precisely regulated calendar system stands in contrast to the lunar-solar calendar eventually adopted by mainstream Judaism, highlighting a distinct calendrical tradition within some early Jewish groups. This meticulous cataloguing of celestial bodies and their functions finds echoes in other ancient texts focused on divine order and creation, such as the detailed astronomical observations embedded within Babylonian and Egyptian religious and scientific texts, though Enoch frames them explicitly within a theological and revelatory context. Other significant sections include the Book of Dream Visions, chapters 83 to 90, which includes the animal apocalypse, a symbolic history of the world from creation to the eschatological judgment, using animals to represent various human and angelic figures. This allegorical narrative provides a sweeping overview of salvation history from a particular Jewish perspective. Finally, the Epistle of Enoch, chapters 91 to 108, offers a series of admonitions, prophecies, and a week of weeks apocalypse, outlining the history of the world in 10 periods or weeks. This section emphasizes righteousness, warns against sin, and prophesies final judgment for the wicked and reward for the just. Collectively, these interwoven narratives present a rich tapestry of ancient Jewish religious thought, exploring themes of divine justice, the origins of evil, the nature of angels, the role of a messianic figure, and the ultimate destiny of humanity. The Book of Enoch, through these varied accounts, offers a compelling alternative or supplementary theological framework to that found in the canonical scriptures, explaining its enduring fascination and the scholarly debates surrounding its influence on subsequent religious traditions. The Book of Enoch's journey from widespread circulation in antiquity to its near disappearance and eventual rediscovery is a testament to the dynamic and often contentious process of canon formation within religious traditions. Despite its exclusion from the Jewish and most Christian biblical canons, its profound influence on early Jewish thought, the New Testament, and subsequent theological developments cannot be overstated. In Second Temple Judaism, the period roughly from 516 BCE to 70 CE, the Book of Enoch was highly esteemed by various groups. Its narratives, particularly the detailed account of the Watchers' rebellion and the Nephilim, provided answers to pressing questions about the origin of evil and the presence of suffering in the world. The book's apocalyptic visions offered hope for divine intervention and ultimate justice, resonating with communities living under foreign domination. The Qumran community, responsible for the Dead Sea Scrolls, clearly held Enoch in high regard. Numerous fragments of Enochic texts were found among the scrolls, indicating its popularity and authority within that Essene-like group. This archaeological evidence solidified its importance in the broader tapestry of ancient Jewish literature, confirming its widespread acceptance among certain Jewish sects before the rise of Rabbinic Judaism. The influence of Enoch on the New Testament is a particularly fascinating aspect of its legacy. The most explicit reference appears in the Epistle of Jude, which directly quotes Enoch 1:9, Jude 14-15. It was also about these that Enoch, in the 7th generation from Adam, prophesied, saying, "See, the Lord is coming with myriads of his holy ones, to execute judgment on all, and to convict everyone of all the deeds of ungodliness that they have committed in such an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things that ungodly sinners have spoken against him." Beyond this direct quotation, scholars have identified numerous thematic and linguistic parallels between Enoch and various New Testament texts, particularly in the Gospel's Son of Man sayings, the depiction of fallen angels and demons, and apocalyptic imagery in books like Revelation. While these parallels do not imply Enoch's canonical status for the New Testament authors, they strongly suggest that its concepts and narratives were part of the shared theological landscape in which early Christianity developed. Despite this early influence, the Book of Enoch was eventually excluded from the canons of both Rabbinic Judaism and most Christian traditions. For Judaism, the emphasis shifted towards a more centralized rabbinic authority after the destruction of the Second Temple, leading to a canon that primarily affirmed texts used in synagogue liturgy and rabbinic discourse. The non-inclusion of Enoch might have been due to its apocalyptic nature, its emphasis on angelology that diverged from emerging rabbinic norms, or its perceived association with sectarian groups. For most Christian denominations, the decision to exclude Enoch from the Old Testament canon was complex. While early church fathers like Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, and Clement of Alexandria cited or alluded to it, others like Jerome and Augustine were more hesitant. Over time, concerns about its apocryphal nature, its perceived theological peculiarities, and its association with Gnostic or other heretical movements likely contributed to its marginalization. However, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church stands as a significant exception, preserving the Book of Enoch as an integral part of its Old Testament canon to this day. This preservation reflects a distinct trajectory of theological development and canonization, highlighting the diverse pathways that early Christianity took. For the Ethiopian Church, Enoch remains a source of doctrine and inspiration, influencing its understanding of angels, demons, the afterlife, and eschatology.